Okay, right, okay, so far we've been looking at some manoeuvres, and now we're going to move on to a new one called parallel parking. The idea is that basically when you want to try and park between two cars, you need a certain amount of gap for you to do it, because if the gap's big enough, you can just drive in by the curb and you don't have to work very hard. But if the gap is 2 car lengths or less, then you might find it's easier to reverse into that space to make that car go between the cars that you want to use. Now, it's far easier to manoeuvre the car backwards because only the front wheels move than it is to drive forwards into that space. The way we're going to do it is we're going to go and find a car on its own, and we're going to then use this skill to get ourselves in by the curb, pretending that we're parking between 2 cars. So our first job is to get ourselves alongside the vehicle we want to use. And if it's facing the same way as us, it's easier just to be your normal driving position away and go door mirror to door mirror. In other words, the 2 cars are going to start level. And once that happens, we're going to get ourselves into reverse, and therefore everybody sees our reverse lights and it shows our intention to go backwards. So, to do all of this, we actually need to turn the wheel 4 times to complete the manoeuvre. So it's going to be 1 left, followed by 2 rights, followed by another left to complete it. And instead of the full lock that we did on that turn in the road, this time I just want you to do a full turn of the wheel. So in other words, back to the air backward, or the VW sign. So every one of the turns is the same amount of steering. Now, again, once we've got it into reverse, we're going to do our POM routine. So we've got our car in reverse and our feet ready. We're going to check our blind spot from the right, and we're going to be looking towards the back window and side door as we go. Now, once you start to move, again, that really good clutch control, tight clutch control with the old man walking pace, I want you to actually turn the wheel as soon as you feel it go. And as soon as you start to move in, that's going to bring the back in towards the curb. Now, hopefully you'll see on the picture how the front is swinging out more and more to the right. So what we've got to do is create an angle that's going to allow us to do this consistently. And normally speaking, most people tend to prefer what they call the 45-degree angle, or 1/2 if you're thinking of a 12 o'clock and 3 o'clock position, or northeast if you're thinking of a compass. What we'll tend to find is our door mirror will come towards their back wheel or front wheel, depending which way around it's facing. Now, as soon as you notice our mirrors coming by the wheel, check out the front of your car. If you think you've got the angle correct, turn the wheel back, and then I'd like you to pause just for a second. In other words, you don't have to properly stop, but I want you to make sure there's nothing trying to go on our right hand side past us, so there's nothing happening. It also allows time for you to then look for a reference point. And the reference point I want you to use on this car is to basically use our door mirror. Because if you actually look in that glass in the door mirror, you'll see that because the car's at an angle, you'll actually see the car and you'll see the curb, but there'll be a triangle, a road in between. So you'll see literally a triangle. And as that triangle shrinks, we'll find out hopefully that reference point that works for you. But for me, it's as soon as it disappears off the bottom of the curb. And if you try that and it works, then we've got the same reference point and we can keep using it. If it doesn't work, if we're going in too early or too late, we can change that reference point between the 2 of us, and that's where the practice comes in. Now, as soon as that triangle's disappeared, it's another right turn with your wheel, and hopefully then the car will swing round, square itself up to the curb without hitting it, and if everything looks straight, like you're facing the vehicle in front of you, I want you to get your wheel straight by bringing it back to the left to finish it. As soon as you're happy that everything's done, make sure you're looking at the back window to finish the manoeuvre, because that's the direction we're going, and stop the car. Secure it, and we'll have a chat about how good or bad it went. Now, the only other thing I want to bring up just very gently, quickly, is that if there's a car facing the wrong way round, we can't use the door mirror to door mirror because we'll be back too far, and we'll potentially go back too far for the manoeuvre to work properly. So you're looking for either getting the car's level by looking at the passenger door, as you can see in this picture, and say at the end of the vehicle from our window, or if it was like a forward door, you may find that our mirror against their back door handle is a good way of doing it as well. So we'll work that out between us, how we're going to get the car started and from the correct place. So, are you ready to have a go?